reality sets in, and we're here.
Respect isn't given, it's earned in blood.
Boxing King Media. We're out here in Leeds, Headingley Cricket Ground, and it's the bare knuckle boxing press conference. Paulie Malignaggi, Tyler Goodjohn, and we've got the CEO of Bare Knuckle Boxing, Mr. Mike Vazquez. First time I'm speaking to anybody from the bare knuckle world. I think the opening question I've got to ask you is like, when and how did you come up with the idea to make this like a business venture?
Well, in South Florida, the backyard brawls, fighting in the backyard was very popular in the early 2000s. It became a very big sensation on YouTube. Dada 5000 and the famous Greenhouse, Kimbo Slice, and I love the grittiness of it. I was a big boxing fan growing up. Hagler, Hearns, the guys that fought to take your head off, not to fight 10 or 12 rounds and get a decision. So that's where I came from. And boxing over the years had, the matches you weren't getting the fights you wanted. Fighters were, going 5 or 6 rounds, just feeling each other out and then maybe trying to turn it on and fight for a points win. And that lost my interest in boxing. So then MMA comes around, it was a breath of fresh air to a degree. And over the years, it's become almost as political. It's also gravitated a lot towards jiu-jitsu, which is great. I used to wrestle. I love it. But the majority of the fan base, what they want is, when are fans on their feet? When boxers are in the ring going toe-to-toe. When are MMA fans on their feet? When the fighters are in the ring. And also, when they've been grappling for 3 minutes and the referee stands them up, the whole room cheers because they're back to toe-to-toe. And then they go back to tangling to the ground, you hear a moan from everybody. So when I saw the grittiness of the backyard and the bare knuckle aspect, it was a challenge just to start working with commissions to make it legal, to show them that, hey, wait a minute, the boxing glove was actually invented to protect the hand, not to protect the head of the other person. It's to protect the hand so you can hit more. So we had to show, that, hey, elbows, knees, and kicks are all legal in MMA. A punch comes with less force than an elbow, knee, or a kick. So why is that legal and this is not? So it took the great state of Wyoming to be the first one to open the doors to bare knuckle boxing. And we started having events there. And once we did, other states started taking notice. And Florida came up, and now we have 36 of our 50 states with legal bare knuckle fighting and approved rules nationwide by the national ABC organization. So come a long way in the last 10 years, and we're about to do our 48th fight under our 48th sanctioned fight, I should say, here under BKB. So we're excited. It's got a bright future ahead. I think we've grown faster in our since bare knuckle became legal in 2018, in our first 6 years. There's actually faster growth than even the industry of MMA. So what the next 5 or 10 years, I think are going to be really exciting for bare knuckle.
Gave a really good insight into the whole sport, and you've kind of answered a lot of the questions I was going to ask you afterwards. The safety aspect was going to be the biggest one, because as a boxing purist, to me, without any knowledge, I'll be thinking, is it safe? Is it the head trauma, all that kind of stuff? But you can probably answer that better for me. So just kind of correct anyone out there who's got any myths about bare knuckle boxing, the safety aspect compared to boxing.
Yeah, first of all, everybody, your first instinct is, bare knuckle, it's brutal, it's barbaric. But if you peel back the onion, you'll start seeing, wait a minute, the boxing glove, you go to the history, it's a fact. Boxing was with bare knuckle until gloves were invented. Gloves were invented to promote more punches to the head because bare knuckle boxers were focusing more on body shots. Promoters wanted more head shots, so they invented the boxing glove. And that's a tradition that's been for many years now. So in an era where if you have youth soccer, they're not allowed to hit the head with the ball. They're not allowed to head the ball. In American football, you can't even touch a quarterback anymore or anything like that. So in all our other sports, they're taking that into consideration, the concussion aspect, but not in combat sports. So that was our submission. So we have a doctor who was the head of the ABC Boxing Commission in the United States. He's been tracking all our events from the first event to he'll be tracking this event. All injuries, he follows up with fighters after the events to track the injury to see if there's any fractures or anything, and all that data is available. We have less concussions and less broken bones than boxing or MMA. The only thing we're up on, and it's less than 2%, it's like 1.5%, is cuts and lacerations, because it's bone on bone. So it's more superficial, it's more dramatic, there's more blood, one or two punches could, cut somebody open initially. So it looks more dramatic, but the reality is our fights are shorter. They're usually 2 to 3, they're maximum 5 rounds, 6 for a championship, but they usually go 2 or 3 rounds. The fight's left in the hands of the fighters and not the judges. So the fans get what they want, the fighters get what they want, because they got a chance to win, or lose in some occasions. But losing is only learning, right? In combat sports. So it's been a struggle. It was a struggle early on. Now we have doctors on our side, we have boxing commissions on our side, and people have taken notice. So it's just that first reaction from people bearing up, but then when you sit back and you think through the process, you're like, yeah, you're right. Less punches thrown. They're thrown with less force than boxing because you don't have any padding on your hands, so it's more of a tactical. So it makes for interesting fights and a lot of action.
I'm enjoying this because as well as the fans are learning about it, I'm learning about it as well. So just tell me about the round situation. Is it 2-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds? And what's like a championship fight? Because in boxing, obviously, it's going to be 12 rounds. What's the schedule for bare knuckle?
Well, we follow regular boxing 3-minute rounds. Our men's fight, 5 3-minute rounds for a regular fight. Our championship fights, we add the championship round, right? On our championship fights, we do add a 6th round, but we've never had a draw. I think we've only had 1 draw in all our events, in over 500 fights that we've had. Our women fight 2-minute rounds. So it's 5 2-minute rounds, a 6th round. And then for amateurs who are making their pro debut, it's mandatory 2 minutes, male or female, and it's 4 rounds. So that's if you're just getting started, you're an amateur and you're making your professional pro debut, it goes into a 4-2 situation. But
that's fascinating, Mike. Well, you've got a show on, and you've got Paulie Malignaggi out of retirement fighting against Tyler Goodjohn, who's an ex-boxer himself. So a fascinating fight. Do you dare give a prediction on who's going to win, or who you think the favorite is?
When we were matching that fight, we needed to have somebody that had a superior skill level to fight somebody like Paulie Malignaggi. So Tyler Goodjohn was the natural fit. He's very well known in bare knuckle. Paulie's 2-time world champ. On the other side, I think it's a stylistic fight. They both have high level skill. I'm hoping for it to be a chess match of sorts, right, where there is a little bit of a feeling out process. We see some of that boxing skill versus some of the other fights that we see that are brawls. But it could go either way. It could start boxing and then brawl. It could start brawling, but I think both guys came ready to fight. They both respect each other, and Paulie's in great shape. I haven't seen Paulie, in this robust, shape, very thin, just taking his camp seriously. So it should be a good fight. I'd hate to make any prediction, but the longer it goes, usually it'll benefit the younger man. So we'll see. That's why we have the fights. Yeah.
Wish you all the best with the show on Saturday night. I'm guessing there's some tickets available. Planet Ice in Leeds this Saturday. Get yourselves down there for the last few tickets remaining.
What was that? I'm sorry?
I was just saying for the fans to get yourselves down there for the last few tickets that are remaining.
Yes, absolutely. I think they're also available online. There's a few left online, and we usually have a section that will open for walk-ups because we usually get a decent walk-up crowd, so there should be some tickets available. It's going to be a great night of fights, not just the main event, but up and down the card. It's going to be a great night of fights. A lot of knockouts.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I wish you all the best. Look forward to experiencing bare knuckle boxing this Saturday in Leeds. Thank you very much.